Hello friends, welcome back to another tutorial class for MS SQL. Now previously we had covered primary key constraint, then unique key constraint. Let us see about some other constraints. Now suppose there is a particular record that has to be entered into the table, and I want to suppose I am the owner of an organization, and I set a constraint, I set a limit that any new employee joining this organization should have this date of birth, which should not be below the specified minimum limit. For example, first of all, let us see what is the minimum date of birth. Select minimum DOB from our employee table. So min is a function, and inside this we have to place the name of the column on which we want to apply this min function. So select min DOB from employee. Now see, what is the, not employee, this was EMP2 underscore 2. So what is the minimum limit? Now select it, execute, 1980-0105. This is the minimum date of birth in our column for DOB. In our DOB column, the minimum value of date of birth is 1980-0105. So say suppose I'm the owner of the organization and I say that any person, any new employee joining this particular organization should have his or her date of birth equal to 1980-0105 or greater than 1980-05. Greater than 1980-0105 means 1981, 1982, 1983, these are all acceptable, but 1979 is below it. That is not acceptable. So it is like setting up minimum limit for your DOB column of this particular table EMP2 underscore 2. So how to set it? For that we use check constraint. So we have to apply another constraint on the table. That means you have to alter the table. Give this command, I'm altering the table. Give the name of the table EMP2 underscore 2. Add constraint and check constraint CK01, then give check, and the column on which I want to apply it, DOB greater than is equals to, and you can directly copy from here, that is 1980-0105. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm altering the table EMP2 underscore 2. Why? Because I'm adding a constraint into this table. The constraint is check constraint and the name of it is CK01. And what is this check constraint? It is used to basically set up limits on the values in a column, and I'm placing it on the DOB column. What is it? DOB should be greater than is equals to 1980-0105, that is 5th January 1980. All right. So below it, below 1980-0105, like 1980-0104, or say 1979 is the year for date of birth of a person, that entry, that person's record should not be entered into the table. So let us first create this constraint. Check constraint is created. Go on to the left hand side, and here is the constraints. Refresh and expand it. You see CK01 is the check constraint that has been created on which column? On DOB column of this particular table EMP2 underscore 2. And what is it? That DOB should be greater than is equals to 1980-0105, not less than it. Now let us try to insert a particular record into this table. Now say I want to, let us first, just for safety purposes, let us see the table at a glance once. Select asterisk from EMP2 underscore 2. Employee ID is I1137. All right. So that means I have to basically give here a new employee ID value which does not exist, like I1138. It's okay. I1138 is not there into this AID column. All right, up to I1137 we have. So I1138 will be unique value, no problem. Now here the value is Shane, and this is the address 1, this is the address 2. Then we have Pune as the city, Then we have the email ID, we have the date of birth, we have the date of joining, and let us say I want to insert here. I'm going to insert the records for all the columns. Here I'm going to insert the records for all the columns. So no need to specify the specific names of columns, because by default when I'm keeping it like this, then values for all the columns will be inserted. And that means I have to provide value for each column also. EID value is there, name is there, address 1 is there, address 2 is there, city is there, phone number is not there. Now phone number here has to be a unique value. So let us say it is 2123112, something like this. All right, just for the uniqueness. And this is the ID that I am keeping here, email ID of the employee. And then you have the date of birth. Let us keep it as 1979. And date of joining is okay, 2021-0101. So logically speaking, this record should not be accepted inside the table. Execute. See, the insert statement conflicted with the check constraint CK01. Why? Because here 1979-0103 is lower than 1980-0105. So 1980-0105 is basically nothing but the minimum limit that I am placing on the DOB column. Anything lower than the minimum limit should not be acceptable. That's why the record here is not accepted. Now if I change it to 1989, then there shouldn't be any problem. My EID, employee ID, is unique. Phone number definitely has to be unique. And this is acceptable because it is 1989 is greater than 1980. So select lines 43, 44 and execute. One row affected. That means it has been inserted into the table. Now select asterisk from mp2_2, go down, and you see this particular person's record has been inserted with a unique EID, with a unique phone, and EID is not to be null also because it's primary key constraint. Name is there, address 1 is there, address 2 is there, city is there, phone number is there, email ID is there, date of birth is there, date of joining is there. All right. Now let us say, let's look into another constraint that is known as default constraint. Alter table emp2_2 and add constraint say dk01 default Delhi for city column. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm altering the table again because I'm adding a constraint here, and the constraint here is known as default key constraint. The name I'm giving here is dk01. It's up to you. You can give other names also. And on which column I'm placing it? I'm placing it on the city column. And what am I mentioning? The default value is Delhi. So like I enter the values for some specific columns. I enter the values for all the columns like EID, name, address 1, address 2, city, phone. All right, but not for the city. I mean, here I enter the values for all the columns except for the city column. So by default, what will happen? Now MS SQL will allocate a default value of Delhi under this city column for the particular record that I'm going to enter. So let's see. The employee ID I1138 for uniqueness. We change it to I1139. Let's make the name as Rain, Street 611, Parkland. It's okay. So it is, New York, NY, and the employee email ID, I keep it as SSAVC, something like this, because the emails are also supposed to be unique. All right. Although I have not placed any constraint here, but this is just for basic understanding. And I have to satisfy the DOB constraint also. That's why I got to keep it more than 1980-0105. This DOB value is definitely greater than that. And what I'm trying to do here is this city value I'm going to eliminate from this particular record. And as a result, I eliminate this city column name also from this particular area inside the parenthesis. So what I'm doing here, I am basically specifying the names of the fields for which I want to enter the values. So basically I have entered here all the column names like EID, name, address 1, address 2, email, DOB, DOJ, except for the city column. And that's why I'm not entering any value for the city also into this particular record. EID value is there, name is there, address 1 is there, address 2 is there, email is there, date of birth is there, date of joining is there, but no city value. So with thanks to this default key constraint, which is placed on the city column, by default daily value will be inserted under the city column for this particular record and not null value. Otherwise, if I wouldn't have set up this default key constraint, then SQL would have entered null value for this particular record under the city column. But because of this default key constraint, there won't be null, it will be rather daily under the city column for this particular record. It's a default value. Hence default key constraint, and execute. Violation of unique key constraint UK01, because I have not mentioned any phone column also here, and if I do not mention any phone column here, so there won't be any phone value here also, and I have not given any phone value also, and SQL tries to enter the null for this record under the phone column, but because already null is there, since phone column is unique key column, hence it won't accept this record because it violates the unique key constraint. So let us here give the phone column. Specify the phone column, and you have to mention a value for this record's phone. Give it a unique value 331122 or 391132, something like this. This a random, just a random number, phone number I'm adding for this particular record. Now try to enter it. Execute. One row has been affected. Go to line number 39. Execute, and here we go. This particular record has been now inserted into the table with I1139 as the EID. Name is Ran. Address 1 is Street 611, address 2 is Park Lane, city is null. Why? Because I have given here, I have not run it. So you got to run it. Now go to the constraints and select the refresh button. You see DK01 is already there, and insert into say I1140, and here you give it as 381132, something like this, and here you take it as SSB, something like this. Now you see, hit the execute button, one row affected, select asterisk from EMP2_2. Now if you go down here, this particular record has been inserted. Now here already city is null. Why city is null? Because I had not run this particular code from 46 to 47. So default key constraint was not there, and hence this particular record got inserted where the city name is null. All right. Now when I am trying to enter this particular record, here also I have not given any city column value for this particular record. I have not mentioned any city column also, and there is no value for the city column. But here, before running this, I basically ran this code from 46 to 47, and that's when DK01 got created. That is this default key constraint DK01. And now what will happen? Instead of null value, the value under the city column for this particular record, it is now Delhi, because thanks to this default key constraint. So that's it for this video. If you liked it, please hit the like button, please share and subscribe, and thank you.